Imagine hitting retirement, putting your feet up, and then suddenly realizing the absolute biggest financial mistakes you ever made, they didn't happen in your 50s. They happened way back in your 20s. Well, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're breaking down exactly what every Brit needs to be doing with their money at every single age, from 18 all the way to 60. Because here's the crazy truth. There is a version of you at 18, 30, 45, and 60, and they all have a very specific financial job to do. Yet most of us, we're doing the completely wrong thing for our current age bracket. So let's figure out what you should actually be doing right now. Okay, let's dive into this. Because this explainer isn't just going to hit you with that generic save more, spend less advice you've literally heard 1,000 times. We are looking at undeniably proven math here. Think about it. Investing a mere 50 quid a month starting at age 18 absolutely crushes putting away a massive 300 pounds a month starting at age 35. It sounds completely backwards, right? But because of the incredible compounding effect, a tiny amount of early action easily beats heavy lifting later on. It's all about the time you're in, not just the cash you throw at it.
To really make sense of this, we need a chronological roadmap of the UK financial life cycle. Think of it like a game where every single decade of your life has one core mission. If you miss that mission, catching up becomes, frankly, pretty painful. But if you get each stage right, cleverly using things like pensions, UK tax wrappers like ISAs, and letting time actually work for you, you can build serious wealth. Yep, even on a totally average salary.
All right, part 1, ages 18 to 24. Build habits, not wealth. So most people think their early 20s are for, getting rich quick. They really aren't. If you're earning your first real paycheck, please do not chase crypto just because someone on TikTok doubled their money, and absolutely avoid financing some flashy expensive car. This decade, it's purely about laying the groundwork. And that groundwork starts with one number, £50. Opening a stocks and shares ISA and putting in just 20 to 50 quid a month is your absolute biggest advantage right now. Don't wait until you earn more. At this age, time is worth infinitely more than cash. Moving on to part 2, ages 25 to 34, the foundation building decade. This decade is a massive transition because it's usually when you see your first real jump in salary. And this brilliantly illustrates the invisible trap of lifestyle inflation. Look, your income is rising, but your savings rate, it's staying completely flat. It happens so quietly. You move into a slightly pricier flat, or you upgrade your lifestyle just because your paycheck got a little fatter. Your income goes up, sure, but your actual wealth doesn't, because your fancy new lifestyle is basically eating every extra penny. So what is the immediate fix for this foundation-building decade? It's building a rock-solid emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Seriously, before you do anything complicated with your money, you absolutely need this buffer. Whether your boiler suddenly gives up the ghost in the dead of winter or your car completely fails its MOT, this cash protects you from spiraling into high-interest debt when life inevitably throws a curveball at you. Basically, by the time you hit 30, your financial life should be running on pure autopilot through 3 specific systems. First up, that emergency buffer is fully locked in. Second, you're maximizing your workplace pension. I'm talking squeezing out every single drop of your employer match because that is quite literally free money. And third, consistent monthly investing. Oh, and a quick aside, if buying a house is on the horizon, this is the exact time to leverage a lifetime ISA to capture that sweet 25% government bonus.
Right, on to part 3, ages 35 to 44, the acceleration decade.
These are your peak earning years. This is the critical decade where early retirement becomes mathematically realistic, but only, and I mean literally only, if you dodge a massive trap. Yes, your income is likely the highest it's ever been, but your expenses are rising right alongside it. You've got the mortgage, the sudden shock of nursery fees, school costs, family holidays. The huge trap of the acceleration decade is that people often earn twice as much as they did in their 20s, but they actually save less, because all that money goes right back out the door to support a growing family. To beat that trap, you literally just have to live by one golden rule. Every pay rise should increase your investments, not just your lifestyle. Your entire focus has to shift towards owning assets. So as your salary grows, actively bump up those pension contributions. Take a hard look at your ISA strategy, and crucially, this is the time to sit down and do the math on whether you should be making mortgage overpayments or investing that money in the market. You need to intimately know your numbers and actively track your net worth. Part 4, ages 45 to 60, the protection and planning decade. As we enter this final stage, the whole game fundamentally changes. This is your last major window to build wealth before retirement, but your strategy has to flip entirely. You aren't just aggressively chasing pure growth anymore. You have to build an absolute fortress around what you've already built. At this age, your biggest fear isn't running out of time to save. No, your biggest fear is a market crash right before you need the cash, or realizing way too late that you took totally unnecessary risks. So, to avoid that nightmare, you need a highly actionable checklist so you can walk into retirement with complete confidence. First, check your state pension forecast. You need to know exactly what the government actually owes you. Second, figure out the exact age your private pensions become accessible. Third, sit down and calculate your number, like the actual concrete figure you need to retire comfortably. No more guessing. And finally, organize your documents and get your inheritance planning sorted. The whole goal right now is pure clarity and security. Section 5, 3 universal financial mistakes. So, the crucial point is, even if you know this roadmap perfectly, there are traps waiting for you. There are 3 universal stumbling blocks that will completely derail your progress, whether you're 22 or 52. Mistake number 1 is waiting, telling yourself, oh, I'll start investing when I earn more. The harsh reality? You just lose out on decades of compound interest. Mistake 2 is the get-rich-quick trap, chasing fast, easy money instead of accepting that real fortunes are built slowly. And mistake 3, ignoring your workplace pension. Missing out on your employer match quietly destroys your long-term wealth potential. Seriously, it's the simplest way to build wealth in the UK, yet so many people just totally ignore it. Part 6, the full timeline recap. Let's move to and see how this builds. And see how interconnected your financial life truly is. From 18 to 24, you start early and you build the habit. From 25 to 34, you pour that concrete foundation and fight off lifestyle creep. From 35 to 44, you stomp on the accelerator and buy assets. And from 45 to 60, you protect every single thing you've built. Putting all this together cements one undeniable fact. Trying to play catch-up is incredibly painful if you miss the specific job of each decade. But I want to leave you with a truly empowering realization. Look, true financial success, it isn't about making one magical, perfect decision at age 18 and coasting for the rest of your life. It is simply about making the right decision for the specific stage of life you are in today. Whether you feel like you're light years ahead or miles behind, the absolute best time to fix your finances is the exact bracket you're sitting in right now. So, looking at this entire timeline we've unpacked in this explainer, I have to ask you, which stage are you in right now? Take a really hard look at your own life. Are you actually doing the specific job your current decade requires? Or are you just stuck relying on old habits? Assess your bracket, figure out your next move, and start doing the right job for your decade today.